Yo, what's good? Welcome to Counter Currents. This is your host, Petey Steele. My co-host, Elena Torres, is still on maternity leave.
Oh, man.
Shout out to new baby Sonia. But now we got a super special shout out our guest for this week's episode, my man from a long time, Brandon Broady. What's good?
Yes. What's up, man? Good to see you, dog.
Great to see you.
So good to see you, bro. Like, come on, man. It's the holiday season. I'm in town, man. Fucking just did the shows New Year's Eve with my buddy Chris Red, man.
Yeah, my man. He's a beast.
You can see my boy Pete up in this bitch, too. You know? Come on, man. This is good times, dog.
No, this is great. I was, talking to Pete earlier. I think the last time we were hanging out was like the Blue Banana.
Oh, my God.
Or like RFD or some shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
you know?
God, man. What's up with RFD?
RFD's done, not just the comedy,
like
but
the
whole
bars,
bar.
The whole thing is done.
Closed, yo.
Dude. RFD literally, I think it turned my stand up to the next level. Like that was, it's one of the most important comedy places for me in DC. You know, because when I first started, bro, like there weren't that many places.
Right.
Straight up, like there was like one place you could go a night, you know, max. Like there was maybe like 1-2 tops, you know.
What year did you start?
Oh, I started in like 2006.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So there was like maybe a spot or two, you know. And I remember I'd go like Martini's on Tuesdays. They'd have their open mic on Monday, but then they'd have their comedy night on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Chico and John Cia. They were running that. And then it's like every other night there'd just be like a weird spot. But I remember RFD Thursdays was a spot. I came in the first time. Shout out to Ralph and Brad. Mm-hmm. And when I first came, you know, Ralph was kind of like, yeah, you know, we'll see if we can get you in. I came like 3 times and I could never get on, right? And then he made me go on at the end of the night, finally one time, right? Went on the end, bro. And I just had such a great set. And Ralph will tell the same story that people started coming back into the bar. You know, it was already the end of the night. People started coming back in. And then Ralph literally said, bro, I will never make you wait to go up ever at this place ever again, bro.
That's
and it was
fantastic.
I felt like I got my fucking like, you know, like my medal or something.
Sure,
you know?
Your sea legs.
Yeah, for sure. So then every time I would come back into town or I would come to RFD, bro, I didn't even have to like, you know, get on the list or whatever. He would just be like, all right, we'll throw you up now. You're going.
That's, you know, when I started about 2012, I remember that was when I met you. And I remember seeing you go up at RFD and you were doing like Michael Jackson moves on stage and dancing shit. And I was like, this guy's going to be a fucking star.
Man, and it's funny because it's like those were, I mean, it's like I was doing this shit, you know, not really realizing like, you know, that you're growing in comedy as this is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So that was around. So you started in 2012?
2012,
yeah. So I had already been in LA for 2 years then.
Right. I remember that. You fly in from time to time. Yeah.
So I'd fly in and I was legit. I was still kind of working for WPGC at that time. So I was still like coming into town to do gigs. I was making more money over in DC still. Like I was like I was doing all types of grunt work and weird shit in LA to make ends meet. Like I was a proctor for the SATs or some shit. You know what I mean? Like for the PSATs. I was like, y'all are trusting me with.
You like caught people cheating and shit.
Oh, it was LSATs even more. It was straight up. I was at UCLA administering LSATs. You know, telling all right, like time. Please put your pencils down. Like I was that guy.
Did you ever catch people cheating on the LSATs?
Dude, I didn't even give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I came in
like
there.
Their lawyers are all gonna lie anyway. Fuck it.
Either way, man. Yeah, let's give them an opportunity to see how good you can lie. You know, maybe that's what it's about. But I was literally like, I was told just read from the script, pass everyone a pencil, let them know they have a break. You know, they have a 5-minute break to use the restroom. But it was so you know, like robotic. And then it's funny because I think I was hungover too. I'm pretty sure I went out partying the night before. I'm coming in and I'm giving and I'm having to like be as serious as them. But then I'm also like, man, these kids are actually gonna fucking make money one day. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of a yin and yang. Like, what did you ever? Because I know you didn't catch anyone cheating, but like, what did you get paid to be a proctor for LSATs?
Oh man, it was something like it was no more than $100.
Okay, 100 a test.
Yeah, for the test.
So it's like 5 hours. I took that test.
How long was it? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, long. So you're basically getting what 10, 20, 15 an hour, you know, type of thing. And it's just like I had to drive. I mean, it's just so hilarious when I think of just some of the gigs and the jobs that I've done. It's just so funny when I think of some of the gigs, some of the jobs that I've done, man. Like straight up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you'll do any kind of thing. I mean, I have a day career, actually, luckily, which I won't speak on it.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't imagine doing, like, that kind of shit or some of these valet gigs. I did all of those back when I was just an alcoholic cracking wise and not fucking doing comedy. The thought of doing comedy never occurred to me. It was kind of just like a dare.
So it was a dare for you? That's how you got in?
This was about 2010. I did it for like 3 weeks. So here's how it happened. I just finished grad school. And my buddy was like, hey, I go to this place, the Looking Glass. Remember that up in Petworth? Mm-hmm. And he said, there's this guy, Reggie Melbro, that runs it. There's all these jerk-offs. They come in. I bet you'd be funnier than 80% of them. I said, I doubt that's true. Because I'd always assume that being funny on the street and being funny as a comic ain't the same thing.
It's not the same thing. But
there is some more overlap, I think.
Yeah, I think if you are naturally just funny and you take the seriousness into the craft, you're gonna be fucking amazing, as opposed to a person that's literally just not funny in real life. And you meet some geniuses that are just literally not funny off the cuff, man. It's weird meeting some of the stars and they're just literally not that funny, but then they go on stage.
I've had people on this podcast. They've come off that stage, lit up the room. They get
and not funny on there.
Like, why do we pick this fucking loser?
Right.
Should have just gotten like a clown or something.
But it was a dare. It was a dare for you.
It was a dare for me. So like he just says, do this. And thinking back on it now, I must have known something because I took it so seriously for the first time I went up. I didn't take it like some bullshit. I thought nothing.
Like you wrote out some stuff and all that?
I wrote out something, and what I did, I didn't have like a metronome or anything, or a tape recorder, so I, opened up my computer. I took this 5-minute clip of Paul Mooney, and I turned the volume down, and I just used that as my clock to try to like rephrase it and say it as many times to get it within 5 minutes. So
you knew how long 5 minutes? Okay.
And I must have done it 50 fucking times because I was like, if I'm gonna try, I'm gonna fucking give it the good college try, see what happens. It'll probably be some bullshit, and then it fucking hit, and then I still didn't believe it. But I said, all right, it's enough to get
your first time. It
hit. And then the next time I said, I'm going to go back tomorrow to, I think it was Sully's that day.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember who was running it then.
Was it Haywood?
No. This was before him. This was like, who the fuck was it? Mike Way was around. Reggie was around. I don't know, but I did it, and it hit again, and I was like, bullshit. Like, that's how much I hated on my shit. But then I kept doing it, and I must have done it about 9 times within the first 3 weeks, and then I got a $20 newbie spot at Shackleton's.
No shit. Shit. Oh, at the Bethesda, the Hyatt.
Back when the Hyatt was the thing.
Oh, fuck, nice.
And I got that, and I was like, all right, this is legit enough.
Like, you're like, I just made money.
Yeah, I made
making
money.
People laugh.
So I was like, I will get back to this, but now I just finished grad school. I got debt. I'm going to go get a fucking job. And then I did it for a year and a half, and then I was like, this shit is fucking lifeless and boring. I make money, but I just go home, watch.
It's depressing, man. Yeah.
And then someone, irked me to go back up on stage. I went to the Blue Banana. I bombed like shit. But then I said, I'm going to keep going, and then it just took off.
God damn. I fucking love hearing stories like that, man, because it's like I'm a person, I literally, like, in high school, I didn't know what I was going to do in life, bro. Like, I really had no clear passion. I thought, like, when I was a kid, I was like, man, I'll be a paleontologist. You get a little older, my friends playing sports, you see that, if you play sports, you get money. I'm a black kid, grew up in kind of a hood, you know what I mean? But I wasn't the best.
Originally?
Grew up in Silver Spring in a neighborhood called Oakview.
So
Oakview, man, yeah.
By White Oak?
South of White Oak, right there at Oakview Drive in New Hampshire, man. But that's my neighborhood, man. We call it ourselves the OVC, Oakview Crew, but like, it's such a, I love my child. I love how I grew up, man. I love my lifelong friends that I grew up with are still my best friends. We're in weddings and all that shit,
Yeah.
But anyways, I didn't know at all what I wanted to do, bro. I had no idea, man. And then it was like a few people in high school told me, like, bro, you're pretty funny, man. Like, you should get into acting or entertainment. And my naive, my ignorant ass and like freshman, I thought like acting was just for like fucking losers and gay people and everything. That was just my narrow mind. I didn't know that this was actually like something that is hand in hand. So then by my junior year, I finally sucked it up Because I had teachers telling me, we did these little projects, and they would tell me, like, you should come audition for my play and all that.
Right.
And,
were you a good student in high school? Not really.
No, I was great. As far academia wise, yes. Behavior, fuck no. Like I had to talk, bro. I had to get that joke out. I mean, I've had all types of suspensions, all types of all that detentions.
Sure.
Like I just couldn't. If I had a joke that I had to say, bro, I had to get it out, man. And now don't get me wrong. I always had my classes rolling. Like I was literally the class clown. And so then even my senior year in the fucking yearbook, they gave me biggest comedian. That was my superlative, bro. Mm-hmm. So like little things like that. I started doing. Actually, my girlfriend at the time, she talked me into doing one of the stage plays,
Sure.
And I did it, and then I was like, my friends, I told them, they're like, yo, you're doing a fucking play. These are my football friends, like, you're doing a fucking play. Like, oh, dude, we got to go see Brody. We're going to go watch him do the play. Like,
heckle.
Yeah, they couldn't wait, bro. I feel like they put on good outfits to just come fuck with me, right? But then when they came, they were actually blown away. They were like, whoa, I think we like live theater. So they actually enjoyed it. After they were giving me props, giving me dap and everything. And so that gave me
You get on stage, you're like, hey, he's dressing like a fruit.
Yeah, look at this fucking fruit.
The lead actress come out, they're like, hey, man, I'd be a fruit too if I could get that kind of pussy.
Yeah, so you get to kiss her every fucking night? I mean, so they're seeing this, and they gave me the respect after that. So then after that, I gave me more confidence. Then by my senior year, I hosted our pep rally. I hosted our talent show. I was doing the morning announcements.
Oh, is this Blair or is this
Springbrook?
Springbrook.
Okay. Yeah, so I was doing all that shit, man.
Blue Devils.
The Blue Devils, baby. Yeah, not the red ones, the Blair. But I did everything, man.
Was Dave East there when you were there?
Yeah, man, that's my guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dave
East. Crazy.
Yeah,
I want that guy to blow up even bigger.
Oh, he's going to, man. He's going to.
Yeah.
Nah, he's
one
great.
Of my favorites.
He's great, man.
Yeah.
And that's good people's, bro. And I bumped into him in L.A. He was just randomly, literally in my apartment building in L.A. Mm-hmm. I guess he one of his homeboys manager or something like that. They were just hanging out. And I introduced my son to him. I was like, yo, this guy is like, he's like a big rapper, you guys. Like, this was like maybe 2-3 years ago before he'd even gotten to the level that he's at now, and he's still growing. But yeah, no, it's great. And he's like, Brody, what's up, man? I'm like, yo, what are you doing here, bro? Because I know him as David Brewster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is like, I know David Brewster and shit. But Dave East, that's the guy, man. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see him growing and climbing and all that, man.
Yeah, he's fantastic because I grew up all the East Coast hip hop, and then it just kind of died for a long time. It wasn't around, and then he was kind of the re-emergence.
Yeah. I mean, I give credit to Wale too. I give props to Wale. Wale really, has a true hip hop sensibility, especially for being from this area, man. It's great to. Yo, DC, we can bring some rappers out here, man. We can bring some artists out.
No question. Mm-hmm. But so now you've been in LA now, back and forth, but mostly LA since 2011? You say
2010 actually. Yeah, so it's been, bro. This is my 10th. This will be my 10th year.
Wow.
Coming up in May, man. A decade in fucking LA.
So what's your week like for an LA aspiring comic,
Okay,
talk
so,
about the two places, New York, LA.
So you wake up and cry, smoke a cigarette. Nah, I think that it's so interesting because people in LA. The joke is no one really has everyone says no one has a real job,
Right.
But people do work hard. You have this weird schedule. For me, it's I'll say when I first got out to LA, it was always I wake up, it's you're writing, you're getting, all your shit in line, looking for gigs, looking for spots and all that. Your afternoons, maybe you spend them doing sketches, shooting stuff with people, because that's the great part too.
Right.
Everyone gets it. It's funny when I would try to come back home and shoot sketches with my friends around here, everyone's like, I've work tomorrow. What the fuck, man? You want me to come play with you and shoot it? What the fuck, dude? I have an IT job to get to tomorrow.
Yeah.
But in LA, it's you can literally say, yo, I'm trying to shoot the sketch tomorrow. They're what time? 3:30 or 2:30, 12, noon, whatever. Okay, cool. I'll be there. And
right away.
People show up, bro. People are really professional in that regard, especially comedians. They get it. So you maybe shooting sketches in the afternoon, and then the evening times come. That's when you're obviously, hitting some sets up. You're doing some shows, going out, and then a lot of what was really cool is I've also been in the club scene, so I know a lot of the promoters and parties. So I'll be able to go to I'll maybe do a set and then maybe hit up a club or a bar or a spot that I know and just run into people. And that's the crazy thing too now, man. I've been out there so long, I can literally go out and just run into people I know.
Yeah.
It's wild to be in a whole other city. Like, coming home here is amazing. Like, I can literally just go anywhere, and I'm going to run into people I know. I fucking love it.
Same here. And that's part of the reason I'll never move, I think.
It was the bold, yeah. I mean, I did it. It was a super bold move, but I was just getting frustrated because, I mean, further story with why I even moved to LA.
Oh, yeah.
I was, I started doing all this stuff in high school, doing all that, and I started realizing, oh, shit, like, I am into entertainment. Like, I like this, you know what I mean? This is what's up. And so then I ended up going, my drama teacher, he was my English teacher and also the drama director, told my parents, like, I think Brandon should really pursue this, like, this is like something that he should do. And so initially my mom was kind of like, well, you should have a fallback plan. She's a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? So she's always been the kind of stability, and she knows how volatile entertainment can be. At that point, my dad was on board. He was like, all right, yeah, I see it. I believe it.
What's your dad do?
My dad has been everything. My dad is Homer Simpson, bro.
Wow.
He was in the military. He was in Navy. He's been on the Democratic National Committee. He ran the liquor board in D.C. for a little bit.
All right.
He spent an obscure time in Miami, and we all believe he was selling cocaine. I mean, there's just this weird period of my life. My dad was in Miami. All right.
That's where I was born. I mean,
hey, look, you got Cubano?
No, I'm straight up white, Irish, man.
Okay, yeah, because we got Cubano, and I'm like, I've seen Scarface. My dad was in Miami. It doesn't take two,
2 and 2.
So he's done all that. My mom's a lawyer, so for him, he was on board. My mom kind of came around after. So then I go to college. I ended up majoring in film, and initially it was theater, and then I found out they had a film major too. So I did the film track, and I was like, fuck, I wish I minored in theater and got majored in film. So I just said, you know what, I'm just doubling both. So I ended up getting 2 degrees at Towson University in their film and their acting. And I was like, yo, this is where I'm at. In the summers, I started doing internships at WPGC. And then, like, each summer I'd come back. The next summer I was part-time. The next summer I came back, they made me a full-ass jock, man. They were like, yo, you're a personality. So now I'm doing stand-up. I'm a personality on the radio. I'm like, holy shit.
Wow.
Like, this is
how long were you on PGC?
Oh, man, let's see. I was probably maybe 2006. So I came in around 2006, and then I would say around 2008 they made me a jock. So I was hosting events. I'll be on the air every now and then. I didn't have my own time slot per se, but I was literally like my boy Shaq in the Pack. I don't know if you ever heard him on the radio. I was like that. Sure. I was like a young Shaq in the Pack. So I was be in the area hyping up, doing Cricket Wireless events, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Cricket Wireless, are they still around even?
I don't know, man. But Cricket Wireless put a lot of money in my pocket, bro.
Well,
like I have nothing bad to say about them, and especially everyone else working there, bro. They treated me real good. But all these things I was doing, and then I started doing stuff with CW too. But it was like I had so much more hunger, man. And the unfortunate thing with PGC is, and like any radio station, program directors, they come in, they come out, and for me, I was a young one. And I had to keep proving myself. Oh, I just had a nice beer burp. So every time they'd bring in a new program director, they only cared about their seasoned talent, So I'd always have to be like, hey, by the way, Mr. blah, 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 my name is Brandon Broady. Whenever you have a chance, I'd like to just talk to you about what I'd like to do with the station, possibly some on-air opportunities. Like, all right, cool, we'll figure it out. Let's talk to me in 2 weeks. You talk to them in 2 weeks. All right, cool. Let's talk in a week from now. Talk a week from now.
Keep giving you the fucking hi-hat.
Then they start saying, I'm fucking, I'm swamped.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm just swamped right now. I'm all this. And so then, I just got to a point where I got kind of frustrated, like trying to prove myself to these. I'm like, everyone else at the station knows what I'm capable of, what I can do. But then this one person comes in, doesn't know, and they don't care,
You start to think, hey, maybe they'll know if I disappear.
And that's the fact, man. Yeah. So then, at around that time, that I did move to L.A., Donnell Rawlings was on the morning show. So it's him, Big Tigger, and Donella. I just started to rubbing elbows with Donnell, and I got really, really fucking cool with him. And I told him I was thinking about moving to L.A. He's like, yo, son, I already live in L.A. and all this. So when I moved out to L.A., I followed up. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm in L.A., man. If there's any projects or anything I can help you with. So he started letting me edit these little audio, like little sketches for the morning show. Because I knew how to use GarageBand. I knew how to use Logic and all those things. So I would edit up these little things. And then he would submit them without saying it was me. And then after the fact, they're like, yo, this is hilarious. This is great. Donnell, he's like, oh, Brody did that. And they're like, oh, shit. So it's like now he's giving me the opportunity. Like he was literally hosting the morning show sometimes in L.A.
At Power 106 or whatever?
At WPGC. At PGC.
Oh, wow.
95.5, yeah.
From L.A.?
He was using a tie line, a fucking kit that would, tie him into the station. So he was literally in L.A. hosting the radio show. So he'd have to be up at 3 in.
Oh, right, because of the time.
He would literally be like we are with the mics. He'd be in the bed with the microphone, and there'd be times that he'd be out too, and he just had to come in and do his morning show and then go to bed. But I was helping him with that. So we got cool doing that type of stuff. And then after that time, his girlfriend really took a liking to me, and she'd be like, "Hey, honey, you don't have to leave. You can stay for dinner and all that. You can hang out. You know what I mean?" And then it just turned into and I was like, always like, I was still doing stand up, and I told him like, hey, I do stand up too, but when you're such a fucking seasoned comedian, it's in one ear out the other when you're and you're like, oh yeah, you do stand up, okay,
just
whatever.
Say hello,
just say
hi, yeah.
So I kept telling him, and he's like, all right, and I think he started to really trust my comedic talents, through the sketches and things I was doing. He said, all right, if you get a little tight tent, I'll let you open up for me and on this show and all that. And so for a while I was touring, and that turned to me, touring with him for a while, doing a lot of shows. So I was opening, featuring, you know what I'm saying, like for him, and like it was great because it's like now I'm getting this comedic genius. Like I'm getting fucking tour with Donnell Rawlings, bro.
Whoa. And I watched him open for Chappelle last year at the Warner Theater when he came back for a week. And motherfucker, when I say that man just made like a contrast. Hannibal came out, the host, and he's funny and all that, but then Donnell just had like everybody off the balcony. I thought someone was gonna fall off one of the balconies.
They were standing
so close, rolling and just la 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 la, and he's running all over the fucking stage, and he's not like a young guy, but he's in great shape. He got
energy for being on stage.
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know how he does it, man. That man smokes a good Marlboro, at least a pack a day Marlboro Ultras, drinks his vodka tonic, when he's out. But this motherfucker is like, he gets up early as fuck. He'll call me sometimes. It'll be like, it might be like 7 in the morning or something, and I'm like, we maybe just hung out. And I'm like, I'm not a morning person at all, dude. Right. But he gets up and he's just a fucking, he's a work machine, man. Yeah. Like he's ready to talk about like, yo, listen, I'm thinking about this idea, got this sketch and all this, like he's just a work machine, and it's very motivating even for for someone younger. Like it's just such like yo, this is the way. This is, I'm saying like Mandalorian, like this is the way. Like,
is he a big gym guy too?
I don't think I've ever seen that man lift a weight.
Okay, maybe not. Wow.
I don't know how he maintains his physique, or because he eats. He's a foodie. He's a straight up foodie.
Wow.
So I don't know how he does it, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the stage is literally his gym.
All natural. Yeah. Wow. So what year was that about, would you say?
So that was about around 2000, I want to say maybe 11 or 12, around that time. Because I know, around 2011, 2012, because I know I'd been, because that was even first, he gave me my first, I'd already performed DC Improv, but now it's like we started doing a Thanksgiving show. So every year we come around, and these are the last 2 years that I haven't been on the show because I had other engagements or whatever, but like, every year since about 2011, I come back and I'd open or feature for him at the Improv.
Nice,
So it's been great, man. And to like be able to be with him, and like it's like this is like he's in the family of Dave. These are like legends. Like these are like it's a straight up. He's a comedic beast, man. I learned from him. I learned so much, man. And he shows me like he always says have fun. When he sends people off on stage, he says have fun. Yeah. And I think it's very important, man.
It is. And so I think it's something that's missing a lot all the time.
It's weird. We forget, like, I think we forget. We let audiences sometimes dictate how we feel about our personality, who we actually are. You know what I'm saying? We're funny motherfuckers. Right. We're funny. But then you have a bad set, you let them dictate that, oh, man, I must not be funny.
I'm not shit. Yeah.
We give them so much power. And that's the annoying thing about it. That's what people don't understand, why comedy is like literally the hardest thing. Mm-hmm. Because you're trying to evoke an emotion, man. A musician goes up there. Not saying that, you don't have people that are suck, but you don't have a tangible means to know if someone's having a great or like an okay musical set.
Yeah, unless you're like a guitarist yourself or something like that.
Exactly, because otherwise it's just like they do their thing, they clap afterwards, But if you're on stage and you're not getting laughs, you're not doing good. Yep. You're not doing your job.
Bottom line.
That's just all it is, bro.
And I've never understood anybody, like, because I have seen, I'm sure you have over the years, people that do this shit for years and just bomb consistently.
Oh, yeah.
Every fucking night. I could never do that. Like I've said, I thought it was a fucking fluke when I was funny, like the first 9 times. And I stopped for a year.
It's scary. You're almost like, yo, is it this easy? Like, is this? Am I Thanos?
Bullshit.
Yeah. Like, like, do I have this much power? Yeah, I get it. And that's kind of how I felt when I first got into stand-up, too, because, I mean, I watch my tapes now. My first times I went in stand-up, like, I think they're fucking terrible. Right. But I was still getting laughs, you know?
Yeah.
And when I look at it, like, there's literally people I see that just can't get anything out. And I'm like, I can go up there and be funny just off the top of my dome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I respected the craft. Started reading some books. Got the Comedy Bible with Judy Garter.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple other books. I read the Black Comedians on Black Comedy, and I just really started absorbing everything.
So you feel like the books helped you a lot?
I think initially, early on, the books helped me
Okay.
because it gave me a respect for just comedy as a whole. It taught me. I already knew I was funny,
right.
but you don't know why you're funny.
Sure.
And how do you know to say funny things? How do we know to say funny things?
Right.
The book tells you the rule of threes. Everything's funny in threes. You know, you learn the list. You learn how a setup is.
Yeah.
Judy Carter's formula is you get a topic, a premise, an act out, a mix, and an act out. You know.
Right.
And when I'm thinking about it, I'm sitting back. I'm like, holy shit. That's literally what I do when I'm telling jokes, you know, that I didn't know that's what I was already doing, you know, but to actually know that, then you can you can reverse engineer, and now you're starting to say stuff like it's like scientifically being funny.
I should do that because the thing is, I've never been one. I love to read, but I never was one for reading like comedy how-to books or whatever, because I do believe for the most part comics are born and not made.
For sure. I totally agree.
That being said, I do think that, you know, like it has been a learning process, and my curve's always been, it seems like, unconscious, because over the years, like, you know, when you first start and you get obsessed and you want to build all this material, you start thinking about everything you see in top of you. How can I make this a fucking joke? This is going to be great. Then you try it on stage and it fucking sinks like an anvil, you know? Yeah. And then and over the years, you develop kind of an instinct where I'll be sitting there sometimes and I'm like, yo, that might, and I'm like, nah, scratch that shit. Mm-hmm. Before I even write it down or say it any further, like, that fucking's never going to work. Yeah. And you get better at that. But, you know, maybe to read it in print might add another dimension.
It doesn't take away. I'll tell you that. It definitely doesn't take away. And I've read, there's some books. I've read, like, you know, like the Comic Toolbox, How to Stand Up Comedy, like a bunch of books. And, like, I take little things here and there from them, you know, from each and every one. The book I've been reading lately is like writing for late night TV, you know, which is fucking a great read, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, come on, dude, as a comedian, what's the next level? You know, you want to be writing on a show, writing for films, having your own late night show. I mean, you're doing a thing right now. You got your own podcast, bro. So yeah, things like this. I mean, but you really learn these formulas, man. Like, you just build this wealth of knowledge. And it's like, because you already know how, you start to understand the science, because the people that write these books, they're not the funniest people, but they're the nerds and the dorks that fucking sat down and said, the reason that was funny, like, dude, do you know what plosives are?
Plosives?
You know what plosives are?
Spell it.
Plosives. Plosives.
Oh, like explosives.
But they're words. There's words that are called plosives that have a punch sound, like a k. So for whatever reason, people laugh more at k sounds, like K's, C's, you know, like you say a joke like, man, like something, I had a kite in my ass, you know?
Right.
It's weird. Other than like but like the p sounds, you know,
punctuating.
It's the ones that have the big punches on the, you know, for whatever reason. Those words are funnier to audiences. Like, there's a reason. It's the word underpants is going to be funnier than the word underwear. It's weird.
Yeah. No, that's real.
She shit her underpants. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She shit her underwear. Like, it's just a weird thing. It just catches people. I don't know why, but like you learn, like, learning stuff like that. Like, oh, that makes sense, because you're already saying plosives in your daily life of just telling jokes, and you're not even realizing the reason that word hit harder was because it had a plosive sound.
No question. Because, like, you know, you'll reword a joke a lot of times, and then you'll find that. And I bet if I go back to anything I've reworded that hits hardest.
Think about it.
Maybe instinctively, this is just an assumption of mine, those plosives work better because they're more aligned with truth. They just jump right out of the person saying it. So it's like, poof! You know what I mean? And it's this motherfucker's not lying to me. Mm-hmm. Or if he's using all this, like, you know,
flowery language, decorative
tiptoeing,
shit.
eggshell walking bullshit. They're like, hey, I don't feel this guy. I don't know.
I mean, no, it's absolute truth, man. Like the plosives, bro, are just. I'll probably do one more. Yeah. The plosive sounds are just like they just accentuate your comedy. So like, I mean, when I learned that, it just blew my mind, you know.
Wow.
So I have a buddy, my buddy Paul Elia, man. We write a lot. He's a great comedian, man. He's been on Conan a lot of times and done his thing. Been working on there. He's actually on Laugh Tracks too on True TV. You know, we write and we really, you know, we'll structure our jokes and he'll be like, nah, bro, end your joke with that word. The whole thing we're trying to figure out is like, you know, how do you end your joke with certain words? You know what I'm saying? You always got to think about what's the funniest word in that joke. Because just navigating, being able to end on whatever that most surprising, jarring, plosive word is, can make a fucking sentence turn into a joke.
Unbelievable how that works. I mean, like I was telling somebody recently how like an A joke when I was like 2 years in, now at 8 years is like an A+++ joke just from adding it. And it's no longer generally maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, but it's just the way you polish it. And you might add the plosives or fix a word or take out a couple syllables, change a conjunction or something, you know. It's fucking
and
crazy.
then like people like rhyme schemes, man. They like alliteration.
They love alliteration.
They love alliteration, man. Alliteration is always works. A good rhyme, even like a fucking just like a jingle, changing a jingle in something, you know, a familiar jingle, but you change the words in there.
Right.
I think it's a cheap. It's like a old parlor trick, like doing that shit, but like. But it's easy, you know what I mean? You're going to get a laugh after.
Hey, old parlor tricks work.
They do.
I mean, you can do it your way for a long time and not hit and then try it, and I bet you it feels pretty damn good. It don't feel as cheap as you think it is like, when you're like, fuck, man, I'm selling out.
I know.
Plosives. Like Brandon Broady. The fuck? Yeah, Brandon Brody's alliterative.
Brody, fucking illiterate, fucking smart motherfucker. But you hear like, you know, the parlor, like even like, I hate shit like this. Like you see the couple in the audience. So how long y'all been fucking? Like, that's such a old parlor trick, man. Right. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, you know. And that's why I think like even when you're doing crowd work, man, really you don't have to like really build that relationship. Sometimes the joke doesn't even happen right there when you're meeting your audience, when you're doing the crowd work. Right. Sometimes that moment comes later. So I'm never tripped out if I don't make a funny interaction with every member. Like if I'm doing crowd work and I'm talking to every member in the audience, if every interaction isn't hilarious, you know, I say, hey, what's your name? What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a nurse. Okay, cool. How long you been a nurse? Okay, cool. 7. How about you? What's your name? You know, that interaction may not have worked right there, but then later on, I come back to some medical shit or whatever. Then I'm like, well, you need to hook up with Kathy right now because she's a fucking nurse. You know, she's a boring ass nurse. You know, like
Yeah, you kind of like investigate a whole room. You're like a homicide detective or some shit.
But you start building up. Like that's why I love doing headline sets too, because it's like you get that time to really to know your audience, and you're literally building like your whole you're building your set right there,
right?
You know, right in front of their faces, and they're not even aware, but we're aware.
Right.
We know what we're doing. You're gathering this information. And then at that point, it's like you start going into your jokes, but you also have this information that you gathered. It's like you can have a really fun time. I think those are the best sets. I always try to say, do some old, do some new, do some freestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm working on, more freestyle lately. It's the last
only way to push yourself and grow, man.
Yeah.
It's the only way, dude. You know, the new may not hit. You know, the old you start with, you do a little bit of the new, you do some of the freestyle once they trust you.
Yeah, no, I mean, the new, all my shit generally is edgy, and it just, to me, that's a perfect premise when something's like taboo.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to gain their trust to sell that shit to them sometimes, depending on where you're at. You can try to gauge it or whatever. Like the other night, I had some serial killer bit I wanted to fuck with.
Oh, nice.
But then I asked them, like, yeah, you guys like fucking serial killers? And the whole crowd went, yeah!
Oh, you asked them if they like serial killers?
Yeah. And then I fucking went with
That's
it.
That's a funny, I like just entering into that. Yo, just God, I'm mad. I'm mad that you have that because I watch so many of these fucking murder docs and all that shit, bro. That like I'm trying to figure out where my serial, like my girl and I, we'll dude, it's weird. Like our little night in, like our romantic night in, it's like fucking, you know, maybe she has a little glass of wine, maybe I'm drinking a beer, sitting back, and we you want to watch some murder porn?
Yeah.
So that from South Park. We're like, let's watch some fucking murders. You know what I mean? Let's freak ourselves out real quick and then go to bed. And
there's so much shit that can be done with it because everybody's fucking watching it now. Like women, especially, they love the fucking true crime. I think they're like looking for like blueprints on how to like avoid the next incident getting escalated.
You think it's avoidance, or you think it's how they're going to kill their husband the proper way, like and not get caught?
Yeah, I mean, maybe on a bad day or on the period. Yeah, I think your theory's right. But then I also think, and this was the joke I was doing the other night, is that for white people especially, it's kind of like the most ultimate form of like relieving white guilt at the end of the day.
Shit.
Because
white people are getting murdered. Like,
yeah, they're like,
that dude deserved to die.
No, it's more like I've committed like 5 microaggressions this afternoon, but I'm still not as bad as this guy.
That guy.
You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. It's like, look, okay, I see what you're saying.
And I knew that, my theory on that might have had some truth to it when I watched the 2nd season of that fucking Mindhunter, and it was a black guy who was the serial killer.
Is Mindhunter, is it fiction or is it non-fiction?
No, it's true. I mean,
it's true shit? Okay.
Yeah, because basically it's
never watched Mindhunter.
Oh, it's good. Cold. Yeah,
okay,
I avoided it because it sounded kind of stupid, but then one of my buddies was like, yo, you got to see this. So I checked it, and it's about the story of how the FBI developed their serial killer, like, forensic task force. So this guy in the story is, like, interviewing Charles Manson, the son of Sam, like in their prison cells trying to gather information.
Oh, he was like the first person to understand serial killers.
Yeah,
oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't.
So that's the first season. But then the second one is all about this black serial killer, child kidnapper in Atlanta. This was like the early 80s. This is when my mom
was this
pregnant.
The missing kids? I've heard about that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I just listened to a whole podcast on that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Wayne, what's his name?
Wayne Wilson or something?
Yeah, something like Wayne Williams or something crazy. But yo, that guy.
And there was like they were trying to listen to they were on the bridge or something, and
that
whole
bridge,
story, right?
That whole thing, throwing
in the water, they didn't hear.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah. But it's just sort of like, because I was sitting there and going like, holy shit, like it's a black serial killer. Like I've not seen this before.
We don't. There's a lot of white areas that we're just not good at, man. Like hockey. I'm proud to see when I see one of our boys doing his thing, serial killing out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
But it was just sort of like watching him. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't have to have as much white guilt like this afternoon.
Oh, it's a black guy for you, too. You're like, look at the blacks. They're over there. They're killing, too, man.
Like I got on
I'm not that guy.
Twitter, and I was like, not all serial killers
are white. Yeah. look at this one. That's so fucking funny, man.
So we fucked around. I did that with that joke the other night. But then, before, when I tried it like a week before, nobody was biting except this one white chick. She was the hottest chick in the room.
Okay.
And then everybody else was ugly, so no one cared.
So wait, when she said she watched murder porn, then everyone was like, "Oh, we love murder porn too," because she does. Or were they kind of like, "Fuck that"?
No, because it was a dark room, so they couldn't really see her, or they weren't turning around.
Yeah.
So they were all, I don't know. I think really hot women like the fucking serial killer things more so than ugly ones.
You think it's like a fantasy because it could happen to them?
Yeah,
because hot women are always abducted and killed and kidnapped.
Yeah, I do. I don't think. I don't think that people who aren't as in danger of this.
Like you have a safe face, and you're not going to be serial killed.
Yeah,
like
no,
you're good. You're good. You're good. Sweetheart, you're all right. You're fine.
Yeah, right.
And then I've been also watching a lot of First 48, man. I've always, like, as a joke, as comedians, we know what shows are about, vaguely know that. And then I started watching it a little bit, and then I was like, holy shit, I just watched 4 episodes, and they're all an hour apiece, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I just spent 4 hours watching the first 48, and it's like, I don't know how to compartment. I don't know how to unpack that because I'm like, why am I enjoying this?
Right.
Do I want to be a fucking private investigator or detective secretly? Or is it like a fucking like a weird interest in murders? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how unbelievable it is. Like we're so like as comedians, you get numb. You're numb to so much.
I guess that's true.
Am I looking for something?
The last thing that kind of shocks you? Or
yeah. Nothing because nothing
wow.
in the language can really stop.
Nah.
There's nothing somebody can really say to you that's like, okay, you know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So it's like maybe it is. It's like a stimulation. They're like, holy shit! Like
I think that's one element of it for certain.
That's because a lot of comedians do watch murder shit. You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody really wants to be like a homicide detective.
Oh hell no!
I mean,
you don't want to do I just don't want to do the paperwork.
Yeah,
but I do want to arrive to a crime scene the next day. Start talking to people and get some clues. Like, hold on, so how do you know him?
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to have my little notepad and do that, you know? But I don't want to fucking go. I don't want to go to the office at all, punch shit in, look up people like, hey, so this reminds me of that one crime in Biloxi. I don't want to be that guy. I just want to go there, and then I want to have a fucking good catchphrase when I leave every scene, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
some tagline.
Yeah, just some good tagline, man. That's what I'm like.
Yeah, I don't know what would that be.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on the killer.
Tagline.
Well, it's like let's say somebody's the victim hung themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I guess this is the last time they hung out. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Did you watch this other one, The Confession Killer, yet?
Nah. What's
so
that?
This one is on Netflix, and it's about Henry Lee Lucas, who they made a fictional movie portrayal with Michael Madsen, or Michael Rooker, I think, back in the 80s.
Okay.
But so anyway, this guy had allegedly killed, and he'd copped to killing about 300 bodies all across the country.
Oh, my God. 300?
300. But what they later find out is a lot of that bullshit is highly embellished. He maybe caught like 11, and he was like borderline special needs IQ of like 83 or something. So what was happening was these Texas Rangers that had got him for one of these murders started a task force, and then they just let him feed them bullshit so they could close their fucking caseloads. So then they had all these fucking murders he's copping.
And they just said, did you do that one? He'd be like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, but see, this was the thing. He had hyperamnesia, so he could remember based on cases he would read of other killings and stuff, like all the details, so then he would just spit that shit back out.
Oh, fuck.
And
so he was the perfect
it seemed like it was believable in a way, or he could at least sell it, whether they knew he did it or didn't.
What's it called again?
It's called The Confession Killer. It's 5 episodes. It's a nice, quick watch.
Yeah, I gotta
and
watch
then
that.
it gets into politics because this DA went against the Texas Rangers and was like, I think this is bullshit. And then they started coming after him.
After the DA?
After the DA, yeah. Like threatening his life. It was some fucking crazy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it got me thinking, too, like, you know, even if he did just catch 11 bodies and he looks like a slacker, you know, in the department of, like, serial killing, at least, like, he enabled up to, like, 289 other serial killers to still remain at large and take however many more bodies.
That's actually crazy. And it's sad that, like, you hear shit like that because it's like, it's sad that they just want to close a case. Like you're finding anything to close a case, and that's why a lot of these people are incriminated or wrongfully accused and wrongfully. It's just because, and I don't understand that. I mean, I'd have to do the research, but it's like when you close a case, does that mean like you get your check? Like it's like you can't get like, you know what I mean? Like what's the incentive that you have to close cases? Like I mean, some shit just goes unsolved, and I think that's just part of life. And part of what it is, you know. But like, what's the incentive? You get the fucking you get the Christmas bonus at the Christmas party this year, you know, because like, hey, he closed 17 cases this year, you know, like what's
I mean, you get a promotion if you're an individual that clears a ton of cases, I think. But
maybe that's what it is.
It's also just a political thing because these guys, DAs and such, get appointed, or, you know, elected officials appoint commissioners and then chiefs and lieutenants and their crew and everything, and they want to keep the public perception thinking
like it's safe.
That these guys that are keeping the fucking streets safe and things are in control.
The Dark Knight, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking Harvey Dent, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Harvey Dent was fucking... I mean, that's the same shit, dude. He wanted to seem like he had control of the city, but he didn't have fucking no control of the city, bro.
Right. Well, I mean, just for the fact that the prisoners control the penitentiaries should be enough for people to know that cops really don't have, like, as much a grasp as people would like to believe.
Yeah. No, because and that's too, like, you know, a society has the potential to run into a frenzy and a chaotic, like, anarchy if they think that, like, that there is no control, that there is no safety. You know what I mean? If it's like you get the really people that are fucked up in this world, like, oh, the cops really don't run shit. They don't got, like, all these criminals are doing things. fucking, I'm gonna do some crime too. You know, like
Hell yeah.
it's kind of like Joker, man. Like even that too. Like I mean, that's why I mean those films are really powerful because it's like it does show like the potential which a society can be without this idea of safety. You know, and I put the quote fingers up, y'all. The idea.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's about ideas and it's about jokes. And a quick announcement. Next week here at the DC Draft House from The Good Place and Comedy Central and our podcast, Misandry headliner will be Ray Sani coming here on the 10th as well as the 11th. Shows at 7 and 9 o'clock. The Arlington Draft House, there will be no comedy next weekend. It's strictly fucking Return of Skywalker the whole week. But nonetheless, for either show...
You said The Return of Skywalker?
What's the new Star Wars?
The Rise. I'm a Star Wars snob, so,
he
said The Return.
Yo, I've watched 4, 5, and 6, and I tried 1, and I couldn't do it no more. Yeah, so but, I'm a fucking bum with that shit. So, the Rise. The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of motherfucking Skywalker all week.
And I don't even think the word motherfucker's in there, too.
You
refuse to say it.
No, I'm not going to do this right.
I can tell you beat up Star Wars nerds in your youth, yo. I can tell for a fact.
Yeah, we did a little bit
Is that a fucking lightsaber, you fucking faggot? Huh? What's that, huh? Stick that up your ass.
We were going to do a skit, and we never got around to it. They were going to get me to do it where these kids were going outside going, hey, we're going to start a fantasy league. You want to join or whatever? And I was going to be one of the dudes and be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we get upstairs, and it's like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
and
shit. You be pissed
football.
off? Oh.
And I'm going to be like, and I told them I was going to like grab their 60-side die and be like, what the fuck is this, a butt plug? What the fuck is this shit?
You're definitely in a fantasy league, right?
I was in like 3.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I stopped watching after Kaepernick. I haven't watched any fucking
For real?
football.
So
Yeah.
you're a Cap?
Yeah, I sure am.
I think I am by default, man. Like, honestly, like, I mean, obviously in LA, like, I mean, I'm a Skins fan.
Yeah, me too.
And it's hard to get up at 10 a.m. to go watch football, bro. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking something I just
You get
I
older
haven't
and
completely,
it's hard.
but I haven't adjusted to that. Like, that's just, I mean, come on, for California.
Oh, for out there,
For
right?
LA,
right,
yeah.
right,
It's just
yeah.
like out here, it's like, yeah, you can get up. We go watch the game, catch the game at 1. You know what I'm saying? It used to be regular. I go to church, and then I
Sure.
come home. We watch the games.
Yeah.
1 o'clock's reasonable. Even if a 4 o'clock game, that's reasonable. But like out there, bro, the games are on at 10 a.m. They start at 10. It's just weird. Think about you're going out on Saturday night, then you're having to get up at Sunday to watch football, and then more importantly, to watch a team that's fucking losing,
Terrible.
bro. That's doing terrible right now, man. And then it's like I don't even like even. I can enjoy. I don't mind watching the Redskins lose if I'm amongst a bunch of Redskin fans that we all are having fun. But then in LA, I'm having to go find a place with other people that like the Redskins as much as me that are okay to see them lose.
Yeah.
Bro, like it just doesn't make
Do
sense.
they have Redskins bars out there?
They do. They have one called Joxer Dailies. That's a place in Culver City.
Wow.
And it's a straight up Redskins bar, bro. Like I mean, like padded out with the fucking paraphernalia. Everything is just Redskin. And they between halftime, people play go-go in there. They would just DC that motherfucker out, man. And you feel it. People win prizes. Like, and I'm saying, like that feeling, that energy is so great when the Redskins are winning.
What go-go tapes are they playing? Is it classics?
Oh, they're
or do
playing
they have-
classics.
yeah,
They're
like
playing
Chuck
some like
Brown
Rare
and,
Essence, some EU, some Chuck.
NEG.
Yeah. They're not doing any
the water dance.
Yeah, the water dance. My man Flex. Shout out to Flex, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. They're not doing any they're not doing any what you call like some new age CCB or like a TCB shit.
I haven't listened to any new go-go in a long time.
I haven't. I mean, obviously I haven't. But you know what? My buddy DJ Alizé.
Yeah, Alizé.
You know Alizé?
Yeah.
So he spins at this spot called the Dime in LA every Tuesday.
No shit.
And God bless him because when he comes every time he plays go-go at some point in his set. Bro.
Fuck yeah.
And it's the most euphoric feeling because I just like I forget how much I really like. When people ask me my favorite genre of music, I'm embarrassed sometimes to say, but I say like I'm like go-go. Like I love go-go. You know, I love EDM. I love go-go, and I realize I love EDM so much because I love go-go.
Yeah.
Because go-go because EDM very percussive, really about the beat.
Mm-hmm.
You have like go-go, same thing. You have a woman starting up the song, it's all calm.
Yeah.
Like it kind of starts like that, and then it gets into the like heavy. And the EDM, same thing. You have a girl starting the song, then the beat drops, and it fucking just keeps going, and it's just the music. It's like I don't need I don't need lyrics all the time, man.
Right.
Sometimes I'm just good to hear the music.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I go both ways with that, lyrics and beats. I mean, mostly I'm East Coast, golden age, hip-hop and shit.
Yeah.
But then, go-go, man. Whenever I get a chance, it's not enough, but yeah.
And the thing about go-go, what I try to explain to people, because a lot of people in California or LA, they don't understand, they don't understand go-go. They hear it, you play a song for them, they're like, it sounds like they're beating on pots and pans,
Yeah.
But the reality of it is like, okay, I had to humble myself and understand, like, okay, because they're hearing that because they've never been to an experience. But when you go to an actual live go-go, you actually see a band perform. Everybody's going there for the go-go, so the energy already is great. We go to a club, you go to a bar, whatever. You got a DJ. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. He's playing hip hop. Okay, he's playing within the genre we like, but we're not gonna like every song within that genre. But when you go to a go-go, you're literally going there because that's the genre you like. And so everything they play, and I imagine that's how a person that goes to like a jazz club feels.
Sure.
They love that. And it's like that's how I feel when I go to a go-go. So when I hear the songs afterwards, even if they sound like pots and pans, there was a weird recording and they're kicking someone out in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
Hey man, security to the back, man. Y'all, hey, go ahead with that Bama shit, y'all. Whatever it is, like it's like I feel like I'm there, So I kind of maybe I let it be just okay, because of that.
No, absolutely. It's a law in and of itself. Go, wherever it comes out. But I do think that for out of towners, they generally have to come here and go to a go to really love it and understand it and appreciate it. You can't just throw on a tape of a Huckabucks in fucking Milwaukee and have them be like,
Milwaukee,
the bud.
Yeah.
But you can have topical Milwaukee subject matter, and it still won't crank to it.
Exactly, crank. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel, man. So like, I might have to fucking. I mean, I'm here till Monday, bro. So I might have to actually find a go to, man. Just to really
know, man. Let's do it.
God, I miss it so much, man. And those are some of the things about DC. I miss. I do miss our Redskins culture. I do miss the go culture. I miss going to the carry out and just different. There's this little DC things. It's just so. Sure. When I come home, man, it's so much love.
Yeah, vendors, half smokes.
Oh man, let's go. Oh. So everyone's calling them glizzies now. Is that the fucking?
I don't know. I ain't hit a vendor in a minute.
Do you say glizzies? The term glizzies?
I know a rapper from here, Shy Glizzy.
Shy Glizzy, but everyone's calling hot dogs glizzies now out here, and I don't get it. I don't know. I think it's like this big inside joke that's going on in DC that I'm not a part of, and I don't understand.
Wow.
My friends, they like, yo, let's go get some glizzies. Y'all, you ain't need go put that whole glizzy in your mouth. I don't get it.
I know one vendor now since I've moved over to the fucking west side, just straight up, the one across the street from here.
Oh, yeah?
That corner. That's the only guy I know selling hot dogs.
Outside?
And stuff. Yeah, outside. Then there's people along Union Station, shit like that, and down at the mall. But that I crossed any paths with. I don't see.
Oh, they do that shit heavy in L.A., bro. We call it street meat. And what they do in L.A., you got the Mexican ladies, man. They got their little whole setup, but they put the bacon around it. Okay. Put bacon around the hot dogs. Now, when you first get to L.A.,
that sounds like a glizzy.
It might as well be called a glizzy, but you go out, I'm saying, bro, you leave the club or a bar late at night, you smell these peppers they're fucking grilling up, you smell that bacon, the hot dog, you eat that motherfucker, it's amazing.
Boom, boom.
But when you actually break it down, them shits are terrible for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're the worst. And I heard some rumors that, like the cartel owners give them the fucking product, but they piss on all of it so that their own... The people serving it won't consume it and take it for their own families and shit.
Yeah.
I've heard some weird shit that maybe turn me off to it. But when you first come to LA or you're a tourist, bro, everyone's doing. Let me get some street meat. But what you find out, the people that after you've been there for 2 years, you're like, oh, you're eating street meat right now. That's what it's called, dude. Street meat.
I believe it.
So I didn't know in DC they're doing street meat.
I think that to an extent. Actually, come to think of it, there is one vendor I go to right over by where I get my hair cut by GW. Mm-hmm. And this dude gives you a 20-ounce Coke and a fucking big half smoke for $3.
Oh, so he has a whole ass cooler too.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal for 2019 or 2020 now.
Yeah, come on,
know?
yeah, shit.
That fucking, we were paying $2.50 for that same thing.
So $3 for that little deal. $3
$3
drinking a hot dog. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm like, that I can fuck with, but yeah, you pay the price. I mean, I get home and I'm just like, this next shit I take, I might be sweating a little bit. You know what I mean?
I take all my clothes off for this one.
Yeah.
Let me call my loved ones. Let me call my loved ones before this shit.
Yeah.
Is there any more? Yeah. Where's my Great Gatsby? Let me go grab it. You read that again. That's how that street meat do, bro. Like it's like, and then the next day you wake up, you're like, damn, this hangover is crazy. It's not the hangover.
No, it's the fucking food you ate. And that's something I've noticed as a former alcoholic. It's like now in my late 30s.
You don't drink at all?
No, I've been sober for 13 years.
No shit, dude.
Yeah, I cleaned up.
Well, I haven't been sober for 13 minutes. So,
that's all right.
I'm right here drinking an IPA, y'all. He's drinking the Coke. He's truly not drinking right now.
Well, but I drink too much of this Coca-Cola and shit, too. I mean, this is the thing. When you get
it's Christmas time. The polar bears are on the can. Like, this Santa Claus is coming. Santa. There's a whole Coke
you know, in
commercial.
Spain, this ain't the new year yet. You know? Get your dick sucked, right? Coca-Cola. I mean, here's the thing, though. But when you get to be late 30s, you have to start treating food like you treated alcohol in your 20s in terms of like planning for how it's gonna make you feel in like 6 hours or some shit.
Wow, that's fucking
eating
interesting.
for tomorrow,
just for food, yeah.
You know, it's not like a 5-year plan. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat and lose 40 pounds. It's
I agree with that, man.
I
know that I found that like
and like, you know, not leave the toilet paper red or some shit.
Right, leave it red. I found that Little Caesars, man, like it's cheap, it's an easy bite, but I found that it gives me a lot of fucking acid, man. Like I get a lot of acid in my fucking stomach, and I'm like, I eat. I mean, I'm like, you know, whenever you're just hungry, it's a cheap eat, you know.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, my son, he got his cousins and all that. It's such an easy buy. Like, what you kids want? You
How old is your
pizza?
son?
He's 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I have a whole ass.
Congratulations.
Whole ass. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You didn't have him when I was the last.
I know.
Senior.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, I have a whole ass kid, man, and he's incredible. I never like you really. It's so generic and cliche. They say like you don't understand love until you have one of your own, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's so true, bro.
Yeah.
And I was the one in my whole crew that everyone would tell you that Brody would be the last one to have a child, you know? Right. I turned out to be the first one.
Wow.
And it's just it's been.
And how old were you when you had him?
Must have been 28. Are we trying to figure out how old I am right now? Are we doing fucking child math? Yeah, I'm 33 years old. But I was about 28 when she got pregnant. So 29 when 29 was born, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this was he's born in 2015, February 12th, and I mean it's amazing, bro, and it's crazy. Like it gives you so much more purpose. It's motivating, and to have someone that literally is your fan just because you're their dad.
Yeah.
Like this motherfucker likes me just because I'm the guy that's around mostly, you know, I'm the guy that's hey, I'm the guy that makes you a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
That's a win. Like, Daddy, you just made me peanut. I love you so much, Daddy. Like, you know, like we go through so much shit, and especially in our adult world, you're not appreciated for shit. Man, he appreciates me for just being like he's literally one. I would say the only person that really appreciates me for just being me, you know.
Wow.
Other people in life, you gotta do things for. You know what I mean? As you should. Like we're adults, you know. You gotta. It's a give and take type of situation,
improve, right?
But like he's a person that's forgiving.
Right.
I can be upset, you know.
Wow.
And then 5 minutes later, it's not like he's mad. I might have been mad at something else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're in a little bad mood or whatever. They're forgiving, you know, loving, wakes up, kisses me on the cheek and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like these are things like true love is like it exists, and it's weird that love is something you don't have to teach, you know?
Yeah.
It's a true fucking it's an existence, it's a feeling, it's an emotion, man, and it's like you see that when you have a child, like he emanates love.
Wow.
And he's so and then the thing is you start learning about yourself. He's the same sign as me, he's Aquarius.
Okay.
And he's funny, bro. he's funny. He's like, he has so many of my traits, and I'm like looking at him. I'm like, yo, like I always make this joke that like I look at him sometimes, and I feel like Forrest Gump when he first met his son. Dude, I'm like, is he like me? Like I feel like a dumbass because he's so smart. You know, this motherfucker. It's scary.
Yeah.
And then Donnell and I, you know, our sons are friends, which is great, and his son is 4.
Wow.
So they hang out. They're buddies, man. And we've done shows. We did a show at the was it the Irvine or Ontario? I can't remember what improv it was. But anyways, we had both our sons that came to the show. They were in the green room hanging out, being buddies. And then we both brought them out on stage at the end of the night, man. Wow. And it's fucking amazing. Like my son has been on like a couple improv stages. Like he gets this life now. He's born into. Oh yeah, my dad, like him seeing his daddy on TV is just oh yeah, my daddy's on Nickelodeon. He's on his show. Like that's regular, bro. Like that's weird. Like I can't say that about my dad. You know, no one in my family was entertainment. You know, I had no one. I started this entertainment path. You know, and so with it, I'm teaching them that shit, man. I'm teaching them the jargon. I'm teaching them the stuff. I'm bringing them on set. I'm bringing them to any shows that I can possibly do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's crazy. And it's such an amazing thing to share because it's like, you know, I'm jealous right now because I'm like, he can potentially be a better comedian than me, you know? And I already see that. And my hater mentality is because, you know, I want to be in a more comfortable position as a comedian before I even think about what his future is. Yeah. But like right now, I'm like, yo, because I'm setting him up for this. Like he's not scared of the stage. He's held a mic, bro. When I brought him on stage, the way he ended the show, I told him in the green room, I was like, hey, say this, buddy. Say this to everyone. Say, everyone, have a good night. Thank you for coming. And if you've been drinking, you know, drive safely or something like that, right? Right. And I was like, are you gonna remember to say that? He's like, yeah. I was like, not trusting. I was like, he's gonna fuck it up. Dude, he gets on stage. I say, hey guys, my son wanted to come on stage because Donnell brought his son. I wanted to like him get a chance. And so I gave him the mic, and he said, good night, everyone. Have a good night. And if you've been drinking, drive safely. It was a mixture of, you could just hear ovaries, laughter, and awe. You know what I'm saying? It was just like he gave every emotion that we'd worked for in that comedy show. He achieved with that one bar, bro. Like my little 4-year-old, man, and it was just such a beautiful like thing. And then after that, him and his boy Austin, they just stood there on stage and told caca jokes for about 13 minutes. Caca this, caca that, you know.
And that's the best part.
That's funny to them.
Wow.
They're still telling shit jokes, you know what I'm saying?
That's unbelievable. Wow, that's the best story I've ever heard. I'm going to make Elena listen to this episode, even though she couldn't be a part of it now.
Oh, man, I'm sorry she couldn't be.
She just had a child, so, well, you know.
But, like, please, this is going to be great for her to hear, man. And I'm sure of course, as a woman, like, you know, it really is truly a beautiful thing, you know, a woman bearing a child, man. Like, they've created a life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I feel for her. I know she's feeling that bond right now. This is an important time.
Right.
How old is her?
Oh, geez, 2 weeks or something.
2 weeks,
2 or 3 weeks.
Shit.
Yeah.
So this is a very important time for her to be with the baby. You know, be at home and just like it's fucked. It's fucked up, bro. I'll be so honest. We don't have to be there those first 2. Like we're we're more there for their mental stability, but the child doesn't like it's good to like hear your father's voice.
Tune
and all
in,
that,
male listeners.
But you're kind of useless.
He's giving you game right now.
Give you game. You're kind of useless. Like you're kind of just here to pick up shit. You're really there for your wife's support and your girl's support.
Selling
you know?
fatherhood deal.
But like as far as you know, we don't have no titty milk, man. Yeah. That titty milk, bro, is the first thing your child loves. And when you gotta wait till they walk till you can actually provide something that they enjoy. Like, oh wait, you can swing me around? Cool. All right, I fuck with this guy. But before that, moms are the shit. Moms are the shit from day one, bro. We're just a deep voice. We're just a different type of sound. You know what I'm saying? They can't really see you.
No.
You know what I mean? They're kind of, they don't know what the fuck you look like, but they're just hearing this. Oh, so this sound is high pitched and this sound is kind of deep. All right, I fuck with this deep sound every now and then, but this high pitched sound gives me shit that tastes fucking good and makes me live. Like that titty milk wins, bro. If babies could sit in a boardroom and vote, like, do you want your father in your life or this breast milk? I'd be like, we're going with that breast milk, fam. Like,
oh yeah, oh that's it. That's Freud, bitches. Well, on that note, where are we at? Because I feel like we just cracked an hour. So this has been
great, man.
Fantastic. Brandon, what do you got coming up these days? Or
coming
this
up,
is going to air Monday.
Okay, Monday. So I'm actually going back into Los Angeles on Monday. I got my birthday coming up on the 23rd. Nice. I'm supposed to be hosting a show at the Comedy Store with my buddy Paul Elia called Low Key Upset. So if anyone's in LA, please show out, man. Come celebrate my birthday with me. You know, in this new year. I'm working with a couple companies, a new company I've been working with called 3 Black Dot. They actually did Queen and Slim. So I've been hosting and shooting a lot of stuff with them and writing, which has been great. And then All Def Digital just made its comeback, man. T.I. bought out the company. His company, Culture Genesis, bought out All Def Digital. So nice. They just put out a roast me, and they'll be having a lot more content. So I'll be definitely on your YouTube immediately. But crossing fingers for the bigger screens, of course. I'm getting this comedy money, bruh.
Hell yeah. And where can people get it? Your social media?
Yes. Of course, man. Follow me, guys, at Brody the Joker, Brody the Joker, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever is more comfortable with you. I'm comfortable following back, too.
Yeah, you follow us, Currents DC on Twitter, and then, of course, Stillborn DC, Instagram, Twitter. And we'll be doing these things. I don't know who we'll have next week. Could be Ray, could be somebody else.
And my
local.
son.
Might be your son.
That'd be funny as shit.
Why the fuck not? But, yo, Brody, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, brother. Come on, man.
Great.
Let them hear that dap.
Bong,
you know what I'm saying?
Bong, bong.
There you go. Yes.
And, when you're back in town, let's do this shit. I'll be out in L.A. in no time, and we'll do this shit, man.
That'd be
go.
Let's fucking do it, man. Yes,
Peace.
sir.